the bottom, now I'm in my bag. A lot of niggas hate, but them niggas last.
Yeah, what's good YouTube? It's your boy King Benji, and I'm back with another video for y'all. Now today we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna do something a little bit different for y'all. Now I already know I be usually doing reaction videos for y'all for like music or whatever reactions y'all usually request that y'all want me to react to, but today I figured I'd want to switch it up and I wanted to give you guys a story time. Now I know I was saying before I wanted to start doing a story time segment on the channel, and I had put a couple polls up on my social media accounts and on YouTube, 4 different story ideas. I got a whole bunch, but like I just put up 4 on there, and this is the one that got the most votes. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna give y'all what y'all want. I'm gonna give the people what they want. If you could tell from the title, obviously this is like a crazy story. People probably like, what? Like, you feel me? And it's definitely like a traumatic experience and moment in my life, but I'm way past that. That was like in the past, and I feel comfortable to talk about it. So I figured, like, you know what I mean? Some of y'all might know about it, or some of y'all who really know me might have heard about this before, but probably don't know the story. I figured, hey, I'll just tell the story out loud to everybody, so now nobody don't have to ask me when they see me. You could just come back, click the story, share it, like, comment, subscribe, because y'all know we on that road to 10K, and we're gonna do it like that. Without further ado, we don't waste no more time. We're just gonna jump right into the video y'all came to see. All right, let's get it. All right, so this was back in 2014. I was in between jobs, and one of my cousins, he had worked at one of my last job, the company at the last job I was working at, and he had told me that he could get me into the job. So he ended up putting a plug in for me, got me an interview, and this was a Friday. So I got a call that Friday morning. They was telling me I got the job. So I was like, all right, it's lit. I called my cousin up. He was at work. I told him, I'm like, hey, the plug worked, everything was good, interview went well, they just offered me a position, they told me I start Monday. And he was like, all right, cool, cuz, I bet, it's cool, it's lit. So what I'm gonna do is I get off work at 6 o'clock, and when I get off work, we could go celebrate, you know what I mean? We could go get some wings, get some drinks, you know what I mean? Just chop it up, talk about the company, just catch up, because at the time, like, my cousin was moving real busy, like, he was mad busy, you know, with him and his job, and he was doing his thing over there. So we didn't really get a lot of time to like really kick it and just chill no more. So this was like a way for us to like do that too. So I was like, all right, bet. So to speed it up, we ended up later on the day, he ends up coming to pick me up, and we end up going to get some food. So we go hit the bar, we get drinks, we get food, we chomping it up, you know what I mean, cracking jokes. He telling me about the job, shit like that. Like everything is good vibes, you feel me? Like kind of like a regular day. You would never think like it would have turned the way it ended up turning, but it was smooth, you feel me? So now a couple hours go by, because when we first got there, it was probably around like 8 o'clock. Couple hours go by, and now it's like probably like 10, maybe 10:30, you feel me? And he asks me, he's like, you know, it's Friday night, you feel me? Like, you know, this might be your last weekend off. I mean, you trying to go still do something, or you trying to go to the crib? I was like, yo, I mean, we outside, you feel me? Niggas was always outside. I mean, we outside. So I was like, yeah, we outside. He was like, what do you want to do? I'm like, yo, it's whatever. It's up to you, honestly. Like, you know what I mean? You pick me up, so like, whatever you trying to do, let's do it. He was like, you want to go to a strip club? Now, me, you know me, on this channel, King Benji, we love the yams. So when I hear strip club, I think yams, you feel me? And I'm like, oh, word, hell yeah, I'm trying to go there. Now, mind you, I had never been to a strip club before in my life. Like, this would have been my first strip club experience. So I'm like, I'm hyped. I'm like, yeah, we out, my nigga, let's go. So now, mind you, I'm thinking, I'm like, I don't know if I should go, because I'm like, you know, mind you, I just got this job, so I'm in between jobs at this time. My little money I got is supposed to hold me off until I get my first check. He's like, nah, don't worry, cuz I got you. It's lit. Say no more. You don't gotta tell me twice, and go eat out. So we end up leaving the spot, and we end up going to the strip club. Now, when we get to the strip club, it was probably like 10:30, 10:45 at this time. Probably like 10:45 at this point. Now, I had never been to a strip club before, like I said, you feel me? So I don't know what time they really be starting, or what time people be starting to get there, what time they be jumping. I've been to the regular club, but I don't know if it was different. So I was just like, all right, cool. So I'm not knowing that we there early. So we get to the front door, and when we get to the block where the strip club was at, it was like a bunch of warehouses, like by a bunch of warehouses. So it's not a major street, there's no stores over there. You're not gonna see a bunch of cars. No major crossways, you feel me? Like, it's nothing back there. The only reason why you'll be going back there is if you're working at the warehouses during the day, or you going to the strip club at the night. So when we get over there, there's nobody outside. Like, it looked deserted, my nigga. Like, we get into the front door and there's only 2 niggas outside, the security guards. So I'm thinking maybe everybody's just inside, you feel me? They try to keep the shit discreet, you feel me? It's a strip club, you feel me? Nah, this shit was not open. The guy tells us, he's like, listen, bro, shit doesn't open for 15 minutes. Y'all came a little too early. Y'all have the option. Y'all can either stand here for 15 minutes or y'all could go find something to do, maybe drive around, you know, go do something and then come back. So, you know, we younger at this time. We like, yo, I ain't got no patience to be standing outside. We're going to go drive around, go do something. We're going to come right back. So, at this time, my cousin, you know, he had a nice BMW. It was like either the current year or either that 2014 year, or it was like probably like maybe a 2011, like 2011, 2012. It was a pretty new car, you feel me? And shit was fire. Fire. All black fire, my nigga. So, we get into the car and, instead of us driving around like we planned on doing, you know, us being young niggas, what we do, we grab the phone. We start going on Twitter, we on Instagram, we bullshitting on the phone, we doing all type of dumb shit. So 5 minutes go by, 10 minutes go by. So we look at the time now, I'm like, yo, bro, like, shit about to open like probably like 5 minutes, you know what I mean? Like, you want to just sit right here instead of like wasting gas driving around? That's what I said to him. So he's like, all right, cool, fuck it. Little do I know that was probably one of the worst decisions I could have ever made in my life. So now we sitting in the car. I'm on the phone. He's on the phone. Maybe 2 more minutes go by, and I just hear the loudest bang in my life, nigga. Like, it sounds like somebody smashed the window with a bat. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like on the passenger side, and it happens on the passenger side. So I'm, you know, I'm just casual, I'm macking. I'm not really paying attention to nothing. I just hear boom, dumb loud. You feel me? Like, and at that point, you know me, I'm hard body, you feel me? I ain't scared of nobody now. I'm scared of shit, nigga. So fuck. Boy, if you don't, I ain't gonna front. I jumped like a bitch, bro. Like, that shit came through. Boom! I'm like, oh shit, shit, nigga, shit. So, so I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck is that? So when I look at it, the window, it was still intact. You feel me? But the shit was all cracked up, like kind of like an iPhone screen when you drop it on the floor and it's all cracked up. It was like that, all cracked up, but the shit was still intact. But then I see a hole at the bottom of the window. So I'm like, what the fuck? At this point, I had a hat on. You feel me? I still don't know what the fuck is going on. But I remember I had a hat on. I had a fire little gray brim, diamonds back. If y'all niggas know, you feel me, the diamond back with the cam, with the copper D. Fire, I ain't front. Still miss that hat to this day. But I just remember I had the hat on. I'm in the car. I hear the bang. The hat flies up, like if you see Bobby Shmurda, and when the hat flies up in the music video, but it should never come back down. I think that's what happened to mine too, but the problem is, like, the car has a hood, so I don't know how the shit never came down. But I don't know, this shit, I never found the hat again. Next thing you know, I look, I'm like, oh shit. I look through the hole and I put 2 and 2 together. I see a cracked window, I see a hole. I'm like, niggas is shooting. This ain't no bat, you feel me? So when I look through the hole, I see a body, somebody's body running from around the corner. Mind you, I didn't know this already. I'm already shot. He done shot me. And I see through the hole him running around the front of the car. So I'm like, oh, what the fuck? When he gets to the front of the car, I can see through the windshield, and he just starts going crazy. Bow, 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 bow.
Shot the nigga. Bow, shot his ass. Bow, 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 bow.
You was going crazy, my nigga. So I'm sitting there like, oh shit. It felt like a movie, you know what I mean? Like, first thing I could think of, I was like, I'm gonna go under the glove compartment so that way I could dodge the bullets, you feel me? So I go under the glove compartment. My cousin, mind you, the whole time he's in the driver's seat, and I don't hear a word from him, not a peep. He don't scream, he don't yell, nothing. After a couple shots, probably like 5, 6 shots, it got quiet. I ain't hear nobody outside. I don't hear nothing in the car. I'm like, what the fuck? So I wait, put my head up. I was looking at my cousin. This nigga's laying there lifeless, like blood everywhere. His eyes still open. He's laying in there, seatbelt still on. I'm like, damn, nigga just slumped my cousin. Yo, bro, I was about to start crying that shit when the law ain't gonna front. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, yo, what the fuck am I gonna say to my aunt? What am I gonna say to my mom, my family? Like, I'm older than him, you feel me? Like, I'm supposed to be looking out for this nigga, and this nigga done got popped up. I'm not even knowing that I'm already shot, you feel me? Because I don't feel it, and I'm still moving around, and my adrenaline is pumping so crazy. It wasn't until I noticed I had no hat on, I could touch my head, and yes, I got shot in the back of my head. I couldn't believe that shit. I touched the back of my head and my whole arm is covered in blood. I look at the seat, the whole seat, gushing blood, you feel me? So I'm like, oh shit. So when I'm doing this, I look at him, he's laying there. The dude comes back and he opens the car door, the driver door, and he's like, yo, where the fucking money at? Where the fucking money at? Wildin', right? He got a mask on, he got shit on. He didn't really had a mask on. He had like a hood and it was like tied to like right here, and he had a hat on. So I couldn't really see. I just knew he was like light skinned. But till this day, I don't even know who the fuck the nigga was. But fuck that nigga, you feel me? Anyways, he ends up opening the car door and he puts the gun to my face and he starts tapping my cousin's sides to look for like wallets and money. He just kept saying, where the fucking money? Where the fucking money at? And I'm guessing, what I'm thinking is like he probably seen us walking from the strip club. You see two young dudes walking from the strip club. Obviously, y'all going to throw money, so y'all got some type of money on y'all. And y'all hopping out of and you hopping out the Beamer. Nah, you feel me? He need that. That's what he felt. So he's sitting there tapping my cousin's side and shit like that, and my cousin's laying there still, lifeless. I'm still thinking he dead. I guess by him checking his pockets so hard, the nigga wakes up. My cousin wakes up, you feel me? My cousin wakes up, he looks at him, he sees the gun, and he just goes crazy. He's like, oh shit! Oh! I'm like, yo, chill. I'm like, yo, chill. Like, I didn't want to laugh at him, but I'm like, yo, chill. So he ends up finding like my cousin's money clip. And he had some money in it, but it wasn't even nothing crazy, you feel me? Like, all of a sudden, he reaching over to me. Now, mind you, we went to the bank before this all happened, and that's where he had the money in the money clip. And usually I put my money in my wallet, but some told me just put it in my pocket. I don't know if I was drunk because we just came from getting drinks and shit like that, but I just threw the shit in my pocket. I had like $30 in my actual wallet. So now he comes to me after he finished taking the money from my cousin. He comes to me, he put the gun to my face, and he's like, yo, where the money at? I'm like, yo, chill, bro. I'm like, what you want, my nigga? I'm like, you know what I mean? The wallet, that's what you want, bro? I was like, yo, here, take it. You feel me? So I give him my wallet. I didn't want him to come to this side and fill this pocket because he already touching me and shit like that. And I'm like, I don't want this nigga touching me. So the nigga, I give him the wallet, ends up just sprinting down the block. Shit was mad weird. Like, he didn't take the car. He didn't take nothing else. He just took my little punk ass $30 that was in my wallet. My cousin probably had like, what, maybe $300 on him. You feel me? Like, he did all of that. My cousin got shot. I got shot. He did all of that for that? You feel me? It just didn't make no sense. Now, we sitting there in the car. My cousin's sitting there. He's telling me, yo, bro, I can't feel my legs. He's bugging out, panicking and shit like that. And he's trying to get out the car. He's taking off his seatbelt. He's trying to get out the car. Now, me, I'm not knowing that I'm shot already, but I know he's shot. I can see this shit. So I'm like, yo, bro, sit right here, just don't move, because I don't want nothing to be moving around inside your body and shit like that. I don't even know where you got shot, you feel me? So he ends up getting out the car, like he opens the door, he tries to get out the car. Mind you, he can't feel his legs, his shit is gone. And like, kind of like a person in a wheelchair, like no offense, you feel me? Like when they try to stand up, they just like fall out the wheelchair. It was just like that. The nigga just fell into the street, and I just see him like dragging his body with his upper arms and shit. So I'm panicking. I'm like, oh shit, like, niggas really just got shot. Like, this shit is real for real. So that's when I touched back of my head. I'm like, damn, I'm thinking I got grazed or something like that. But the back of my head was busting. I ain't gonna front. So I'm sitting there like, yo, what the fuck? And it was like kind of in the movies. I ain't know what to do. I ain't gonna lie. So I'm sitting there like, I'm screaming like, yo, I need help. I need help. Somebody help me. My dumb ass forgetting I'm by a bunch of warehouses. Like I told you, I ain't nobody over there. And we was right on the service road, right by a highway. So there was nobody outside. So I'm sitting there like, Benji, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, let's snap back into reality. Let's get this shit going. So I look in the car, and on the floor, remember when he shot me, I had my phone. The shit flew in the air. The shit fell on the floor. So I look on the floor, move out the glass, and I found my phone. I call 911. I'm like, yo, we on the cross streets of this street. I just got shot. My cousin just got shot. We need help right now. I need an ambulance. You feel me? Boy, they must have came in like 10 minutes. The shit felt like an hour. I'm sitting out there. This nigga sitting there on the floor crawling around like a baby. You feel me? Bleeding out and shit. I'm bugging out. I'm like, yo, texting my peoples like, yo, I ain't gonna front. I got pop, boom, boom, boom. Damn, no, I ain't the boom, boom, boom. But I'm alright. I'm just waiting for this and that. People's calling me. I'm like, yo, I can't. Shit was crazy. I ain't gonna front. It was like a movie. So now the cops come, right? The ambulance don't come first. The cops come first. And all of a sudden, the guy just sitting there asking me dumbass questions like, hey sir, you know, how are you feeling? You know, this and that. And I'm looking at this nigga like, you don't see this blood coming out my head, bro? And my cousin laying there on the floor? If you don't get a fucking ambulance, like, I'm not answering no questions. Get us to the hospital and we could talk when we get over there. You feel me? After he sees I'm a little frustrated and shit like that, and he can't calm me down, the ambulance end up coming. So the ambulance come, pick up my cousin, put him on a stretcher, put him in there. They come in the car, they grab me, they put me in there. We go to the hospital. Now we at the hospital. So when we get to the hospital, they put us both in the same part of the emergency room. I'm on one bed right here, he on the other bed right here. So he a little bit more fucked up than me, you feel me? Like, he got hit twice. One in his shoulder and it went straight through, and he got hit in his head too, but it was like more like up here. Mine was like more in the back of my head, you feel me? So when I got to the hospital, they didn't even know if I got shot. They thought I got grazed, you feel me? Now mind you, when you go to the hospital, you're not supposed to be getting like no CAT scans and shit like that if you got metal in your body. So they thinking I got grazed. They put me in a CAT scan machine like 3-4 times, my nigga. They can't get no picture. The whole time they should have just took an x-ray, but this was a horrible hospital. I'm not even gonna expose them niggas, fuck all that shit, but horrible hospital, don't go there. They finally pull me out this shit, they can't get a picture, and they're like, well, we think you just got grazed, so, you know, we're just gonna hose it off, we're gonna tie you up, I mean, you know, just like patch you up and you'll be ready to go. I'm like, what? Mind you, I'm in the hospital for probably like no more than 40 minutes, 45 minutes. My boys end up coming. My boy and his shorty end up coming, and my sister and my brother end up coming. I didn't even tell my moms, nigga. I know she would've went crazy. So they end up coming, they wrap me up, and they just let me go. So I go home that day, you know, that night I'm sleeping like this, because I can't sleep on the back of my head, you feel me? Shit, wild uncomfortable. And I wake up, I'm like, nah, man, like, something's not right. I feel like I got some shit in the back of my head. So I end up going to another hospital out in Long Island, like a better, bigger hospital. And literally in like 15 minutes, the dude, he didn't even do a CAT scan. He just went, took an x-ray, seen that I had a bullet in my head. And he was like, yeah, look, it's right there. You got a bullet in the back of your head. So I'm sitting there panicking. I'm bugging out in my head. I'm keeping it cool, but in my head, I'm like, damn, my nigga, like, I was just regular yesterday. Now I got this shit in my head, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, so now I'm sitting there asking him questions like, yo, so y'all gonna take it out, this and this and that. And he was just telling me like, you know, well, where it's at, you know, we don't usually operate on people's heads when they get shot in the back of their head or when they get shot in their heads. You know, the new muscle and tissue is already kind of growing over it. And if it was to us, we wouldn't do it, but we could refer you to a plastic surgeon and they could let you know if they could take it out or not, and they'll let you know the percentages, like your chance of living or dying if you decide to go with it. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, couldn't be that bad. I end up going to the plastic surgeon the next day, and the dude is like, yeah, you know what I mean? Take a couple pictures, do shit like that, and he just tells me, like, all right, bet. So technically, you could take it out, but if you take it out, there's probably be a 78% chance you're not gonna make it. And I was like, 78, nigga? Like, what? I was like, hell no, that shit's too high, bro. I was like, yo, so is anything gonna happen to me? Like, am I gonna be living a crazy life? Am I be getting headaches or passing out, strokes and shit like that? Like what's up, my nigga? Like, and it was like, nah, you know, it's not by any nerves or anything like that. So, and it's not by your brain or anything. So you'll be fine. You don't have any worries. And that was about 6 years ago, and I ain't gonna lie, there's times I forget that shit is in there, my nigga. If people don't bring it up to me, or if I don't like touch the back of my head by accident, I really don't you know, notice it. But yeah, it was definitely a crazy experience, man. And that was it, you know. Like, y'all let me know if y'all want to hear any other stories. I got a whole bunch, like I told you, man. I've been through so much shit, and I got mad stories. And if y'all like more videos like this, man, like I always say, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when I'm dropping some more fire for y'all. And without further ado, we out. KBTV.
Remember taking cabs, now I do the dash. I came up from the bottom, now I'm in my bag.